Last week a video came to light showing Kent police hitting Chattham High Street with practically everything they have at their disposal. In fact, the video footage captured by a pedestrian and witness statements explains how approximately 8 police vehicles rushed to the scene of one of the most heinous crimes I've ever reported on this channel. The police response alone shows just how serious the crime was, as the police cars rushed past people and at least half a dozen cops on foot raced to get to the scene of a 17-year-old autistic boy on an e-scooter. Yes, the response you've just witnessed was Kent Police's response to an e-scooter being ridden through Chattham High Street. And before I get into the comments that were left on social media, a Kent Police statement from District Commander for Medway, Chief Inspector Shona Lounders, said, "On Wednesday, June 22nd, officers on patrol in Chattham High Street attempted to seize an e-scooter being ridden illegally by a teenage boy, and during the incident one female officer was assaulted." Fuck off. Assaulted my arse. She probably broke her nail in trying to unlawfully assault the kid. Officers were aware there was a large crowd forming, and in order to prevent injury to members of the public and to assist with safely detaining the suspect, further patrols were dispatched to the scene. When these officers arrived, the suspect assaulted a second female officer and was arrested. I reiterate, fuck off. Based on the response, I bet every single cop was so pumped up with adrenaline and ready to lay into someone, they didn't even consider the fact they could probably de-escalate any situation by speaking to the kid normally. But no, that kind of response is saved for the pedos. A kid on an e-scooter, however, gets a code 0 response. I'm surprised NPAS wasn't deployed circling the area and some dog crowd control units for good measure. The officers at the scene used Home Office approved techniques to ensure the suspect was safely detained. Home Office approved techniques, which no longer involve talking to people. Simply jumping on them is literally all these cretins seem to know these days. During the first year of policing, all officers undertake a robust safety training program which consists of classroom learning, practical assessments and examinations. Well, maybe there should be some more practical elements to this training. I don't know, let's spray them in the face with pava. Let's hit them over the head with an asp. Taser them, discharge the entire taser into them and then kneel on their necks. Let's let them experience everything that they're going to do to the general member of the public, and I bet my arse a lot of the plot will revert back to actually speaking to people first. Upon completing this training, officers are then required to carry out yearly safety training to ensure they continue to use their techniques safely and correctly. They are required to pass examinations as part of this yearly review. However, regardless to that word salad we've all come to expect from the police, a number of people who witnessed the incident accused the police of excessive aggression against the boy. Jane Clayton, a witness to the incident, said that she had seen the incident and that male and female officer had seemed a bit heavy-handed. A second witness, called Chloe, said, "Heavy-handed isn't a word. They were awful towards that young boy." Chloe added that, "I really hope he's okay and it gets taken further. There was no need for the way he was treated at all. Everyone who videoed it should post all the videos showing everyone what the police are actually like." Yes, they should. "I was here watching this with tons of others," she said. The officer had his elbow in the young boy's throat and the young boy couldn't even breathe. He was politely telling them to get off his neck, crying out for help, and they still didn't listen and threw the boy to the ground twice. The way these officers acted today was disgraceful. 8 cars full of officers for one young 17-year-old boy who is autistic. Absolutely disgusting. There was about 50 of us all shouting at the officers, telling them to get off the poor boy's throat. He couldn't breathe, yet he still carried on putting his elbow in his throat whilst throwing him to the ground. Absolutely sick. Gemma Tolley, who said she had also witnessed the arrest, said, "Me and my family were there today, and after they took the boy, I went to the police station and made a formal complaint against them. What shocked me was everyone saw it and was shouting at the police to stop, but yet I was the only one at the police station making a formal complaint." And that's because most people are lazy shits. They like to think they're self-righteous and would do the right thing, but in reality, most people will simply want to join the crowd at the time and forget about it right afterwards. She added, "The police need further training on how to deal with children or young adults with autism and learn from what happened today." Another witness, Rebecca Elliott, said she witnessed the event and complained. "I have reported this as I got the officer's badge number. The poor boy couldn't move, he was already in handcuffs. There was no need for that police officer to do that to his throat." And, of course, the copsuckers and bootlickers responded by blaming the boy, with one saying, "The police did their job. If he wasn't struggling, then force wouldn't have been used." That comment was from Tommy Harris from Kent. I'll tell you what, Tommy Harris from Kent, you come and see me and I'll give you a taste of what the police do in these situations, and we'll see if you can manage without struggling yourself. You utter knobhead. Tina Richardson said in support of the police, "I saw this morning. The trouble is he was riding in a busy walkway. If a child or person had been hit and badly hurt, then comments would be different. I have no problem with these scooters, but they need to be ridden responsibly and not in a busy pedestrian area." Yes, Tina, if a child or person had been hit, blah, blah, blah. The law works on evidence, facts, not ifs. If he had accidentally run into somebody, that still doesn't warrant a response such as we've just witnessed, nor police putting their elbow in a young boy's neck. You try reporting a crime for yourself and you'll get zero response, while this, which will be nothing more than a fine, this gets a full-on terrorist response from the donut munchers. How anybody can deem this response as appropriate, and I don't even need to see the footage of what they did to the kid with that much adrenaline running through the pork scratching systems. I can only imagine what they did to the poor lad. But I'm not surprised he fought back, if he did in fact fight back. This was utterly ridiculous. I think this shows the priorities of the police service, in Kent at least. I would seriously be upset at the amount of precepts I'd be paying for those clowns if I lived in Kent, knowing that they won't come out to a house burglary or if my car gets stolen, but throw practically every resource they have at a kid on a scooter. Utterly ridiculous. Get a grip, Kent Police. You're pathetic.